Hi guys, back out with the Ace Apex today. Seen a few comments popping up about various issues where it seems a little unstable. So today going to try and highlight a few possible issues that people need to check really. First off is the connector going into the control box from the coil. Yeah, just make sure that is all the way in and fully done up. What I have noticed over the past few days, yeah, is for some unknown reason, it hasn't done it on the AT, is it's worked a little bit loose. I don't know if it's to do with vibration up the main stem, if it's to do with, you know, how the socket is mounted, but just a little bit of vibration, and it seems, yeah, that this socket comes loose. Now if this plug does come loose going down to the coil, yeah, obviously that's going to achieve a little bit of chatter. So just make sure you're nipping it up. I'm not going to undo that all the way now, but what I've done is I've put a little bit of blue Loctite on there, you know, thread tight, and just locked it up, and even though I just cracked it off then, but yeah, I've locked it up, and that seems to hopefully have done the trick. And the other thing is, which is a prime example, yeah, make sure your cable's not flapping about on the stem, because your detector is actually going to pick up cable chatter basically. So let's make sure that's all nicely, you know, not overly tight, but nicely secured to the stem itself. Right, then to powering the unit up, as with most modern machines, hold the unit, you know, way off the ground, hold the coil way off the ground, let it power up, let it do its thing. All right, what I have found over the last few times I've been out with it is if you're powering it up with the coil on the ground, you tend to get a little bit of noise, and it stays with you. That noise doesn't disappear. Once you've turned it on, select the menu you're going with. All right, so I'm just going to run in 0, for example. Yeah, I'm going to scroll through sensitivity. I'm going to wind it right up, just to give an example of if it's going to get any ground chatter. Volume, I'm going to wind that right up so we can all hear it. Iron audio, right at the top. It's come on at 15 kilohertz. We'll take that up to 20 kilohertz just so we've made some changes. Channel 5, that's absolutely fine. Come back out of that. Let it do its thing again, yeah? Don't start swinging until that screen has gone clear, all right? Because it's still obviously processing the information and the changes you've just made. Then, prime problem people are not doing that I've spoke to where they've messaged us, yeah, is they're not always going in straight with a ground balance, all right? Press and hold. Yeah, give it the usual pump motion, yeah, a few seconds until that buzzing just basically disappears. Take your finger off. Let it do its thing and the screen is cleared. Perfect. Now it is essential, if you make any changes, be it the mode from 0 to coins or anything else, you alter the sensitivity, you alter the frequency, you need to make sure you ground balance the machine. I've tried it on a number of occasions where I've gone out, I've set it at 20 kilohertz, started swinging, blah blah blah, do the usual thing, right? I start pushing buttons, you know, alter the sensitivity, check this, try that, yeah. Been doing all that, and as soon as I've made any changes, I start to then pick up a little bit of noise. So what I'm then doing is just taking the coil off the ground, raising the coil into the air, ground balance, pump the coil back down again in whatever setting I'm now in, yeah, and that noise is disappearing. Iron, one of those tones we all get and we're all familiar with. There we go, big chunky bit of iron. Right, watch this guys, a little bit of separation between a couple of targets. Yeah, put a nice large hammer down, thumb width apart. Iron, hammered part next to it. Now look, when I'm swinging over that real quick, yeah, blinking great chunky bit of iron, but still picking up that big old hammered. And again, on the approach, on the end of the coil, sweet as a nut, still got some good height on it. Look at that for distance, look. What's that, 6 inches, 8 inches? I know it's an air test, I get that. And then we're on top of the iron, but back off the iron a little bit, bosh. And when we're that way on, I mean, look at that. That is crazy. That's like over a foot above it. That coil is a foot above that hammered. Right, sounding sweet, sounding sweet. All right, let me take that hammered out of the way. Hammer's out of the way. Yeah, it's not even getting the iron that deep. So everyone's like questioning on some of the groups there about it's picking up deep iron. We've had some big chunky deep iron. But the point to illustrate here, yeah, I've literally got to be on top of that old nail. Yeah, lay a nice big old hammer down beside it. And that nail is not shadowing that hammered coin. I know it's not in the ground, guys, I get it's on the surface, but it's just to illustrate the separation the machine has got with that coil. Right, how far is that coil, Sean, off the top of that nail?
6 inches.
6 inches, is it? Can you get your hand under there between the coil and the... Yeah, oh, easy. Probably more than 6 inches, isn't it?
Yeah, much like 8.
Probably 8 inches. Right, guys, so we're swinging over that nail. Right, we can hear a bit of iron grunt there, which we get. Yeah. Sean's now going to lay that hammer down beside that nail. I'm not going to move the coil.
Oh, sorry.
He's trying to run off with me. There you go, nail, coin. Closer we get. Hammered, iron. Can you bring them a little bit closer together, mate? We're going to bring them a little bit closer together. Right, can you now pull... See, that's still there, guys. That sweet tone is still there, which is a hammered. Now take the nail out of the way. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Bang, we've got it. Then put the nail right back beside it. I mean, they're touching each other, guys. Yeah, and I'm still getting... Right, now take that coin out of the way. Look at that. I know it's an air test, guys, I get that, but I'm just trying to get across that coil and the separation and that recovery speed. Ace Apex, good technology, decent coil, you ain't going to go far wrong. Iron nail again, guys. There we go, 10 inches. We're just having a quick measure up. Yeah, it is 10 inches roughly. Alright, and then what we've got is, what coin is that, Sean?
Cartwheel penny.
Cartwheel penny, yeah? You watch this, guys, yeah? We're going to lay it down right, literally right next to that. Get as close as you can to that. It's not even picking that iron up, guys. And I've got it in zero mode. I've got it in zero mode, yeah. I've got sensitivity right at the top. Yeah, volume so you can hear it. Iron audio, flat out, frequency at 15. Channel 5. Yeah, then put that nail out of the way, Sean, so we know we're not just getting the highest from it. Sweet as a nut. Put the coin out of the way. Put the iron back, the nail back. And then put the coin back beside it. Impressive. Iron, penny. Impressive. Just thought I'd break the video up a bit, guys, with a live dig. Nice clean 70. Clean 70-72, still in zero mode. Yeah, still in zero. ground balanced, 15 kilohertz, sensitivity up full. What we got? Well, missed it on that one. Pinpoint it, shall we? No, it must be deeper, guys. And if you can see over there, guys, that's our one of our Field of Dreams number 1, Silver and Roman off there. It's just being ploughed, so we'll be back on that one shortly. Sean's standing there, showing me a lovely button. Christ, look at that.
Very slight gold gildings on it in places, but
what a lovely button that is. Still got the shank on it. Look at the detail on that one, guys. That is lovely. Let's see what I got. That's still a solid 72. Right, that's out, guys. 75, 76. Can I actually find it without all the drama? Oh, there it is. After all that, bit of crap. Bit of crud, hey? Bit of crud. I think that one was in the sidewalls, guys, to be honest. This is more to educate myself, really, guys, because the amount of times I keep missing the target on this. So anyway, double D coil, as you'd expect. Straight down the centre spine of the coil. Bosh, that's your hole detection zone, yeah, we get that. Right, then when you pinpoint, and if you're not using the pinpointer function, yeah, as soon as you drift off the target, gone. So it is literally at the end of the coil, or gone at the tail end of the coil. So front of the coil there is obviously what you're pinpointing to, or back of the coil there is what you're pinpointing to. And same works when you actually use the pinpointer function. Put it up in the air, bring pinpointer in, bang. If it's either side of the center of the coil, where the coin there, I don't know if you can see that, but at the moment that's not under the middle of the coil. Yeah, it's not getting it, and I've got my finger held down on pinpoint. Smack bang in the middle of the coil, so when you're using that pinpoint function, you know it's in the middle of the coil. Drift backwards off your target, bosh, and as soon as that tone has disappeared or them bars start to drop away, the target is smack bang in front of the coil, smack bang in the middle at the front of the coil, if that makes sense. So the target is going to be there. Sean just shouted Roman. You'll see that on another video. Oh Christ, he's saying yes.
beautiful.
He's on one, he's on one, he's on one.
Loving it, look at that.
Look at that, guys. That is a beauty. Look at that. Look at the detail in that. You're going to have to watch the other video. All of these bits that Sean's finding today be up in another video. But that is amazing.
Yeah, boy.
Well done.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Loving it.
Couldn't refuse it, guys. We were up here a few days ago, and funny enough we marked the spot GPS, but we also put a pile of stones where we covered a really nice Roman coin. We just headed back over here today. Obviously I'm on the Apex, just doing a few different tests and showing different settings for it. Sean's come back up here, first hit where we were from the one the other day where we left the stones, bosh, straight in on a Roman. And then just over here, somewhere, late 40s, early 50s. Let's attempt another live one, shall we, just for a laugh? Oh, hang on a minute, let's pinpoint that back. Now you see, that's what's happening, guys. I'm going in on top of the target rather than beside it. What was it, guys? Oh dear. It's the middle out of a shotty. Look at that. That coil is well sensitive. Well sensitive. Solid 60. 66, 60. Let's see what we got. It's out. Still sounds half decent when it's out. Well, what is that, a lead tip is it? I'm not really very good on the old ammunition side of things. Lead tip, guess that's lead, heavy enough. Nice little find, isn't it? 4 inches down, I suppose. And again, you know, nice stable hit. Yeah, 60s, 60, mid 60s. Nice little find. Right guys, that is in coin mode. That's just an example really of the benefits of running it in zero. So got what sounds like an okay tone. Yeah, the numbers are jumping about a bit. It's not fully repetitive, which I appreciate. Sounds repetitive there, you know, you've hit it bang on top of it. Yeah. But occasionally it's disappearing, right? So that's in coin mode. If we just flick that round into zero mode, which is what I run all the time, yeah, now you just listen. Yeah, that's enhanced that iron grunt around it. And this way is a prime example. Yeah, you'd never dig that in 100 years, do you know what I mean? Things may sound sweet, if we can get that to repeat again wherever I hit it. See, that sounds sweet that way, admittedly, and not everyone takes it at 90. They go, oh yeah, I've got a fairly sweet tone, I'll dig that. Yeah, not looking at the numbers because it sounds okay. Yeah, but switch that through to 0. Yeah, it's all bitty, and then go the other way on, swing the other way over it. In 0 mode, you'd just walk past that. You wouldn't even bother digging that one. So that is the benefit really of running in 0. It's good to use coins if you want to back out some of that sort of crap noise, to put it bluntly. But the problem you've got is some targets may fall into that tone where they sound nice, you've not really looked at the numbers, and you start digging it and then you find you're just digging junk. So I think personally, if you're unsure, throw it back into 0. If you start to pick up that iron grunt, just walk on. Right guys, so that's it really. Just remember, make sure the terminal remains tight throughout. If you start to get that chatter, just make sure that is still tight. Make sure coil cable isn't flapping around. Ground balance, obviously very important. Hit the ground balance, pump the ground. Again, you make any changes, you need to ground balance, be it you change the mode from 0 to coin or any of the others, you change the sensitivity, you change the frequency. Yeah, just make sure, yeah, that you do ground balance. We'll leave that out. Yeah, 60 up into the mid 60s. And obviously, like I say, when pinpointing, yeah, it's end of the coil. As the target disappears, it's going to be here, smack bang in the middle of the coil, but off the end of it as you back off the target. Another deeper one, guys. Didn't sound that deep, but I don't really use the depth finder on here, to be honest, because obviously it depends on the size of the target. In relation to its true depth, you know what I mean? So if it sounds nice and then numbers stay relatively stable, then it is obviously going to be hopefully a half decent target. $60 still. And there is a question about how deep this thing will go, to be honest. I mean, on a previous hunt, as you may have seen, or on the review video actually I should say, as you may have seen, yes, it was iron, but it was, you know, half a metre down. It's starting to jump about now. I'm a bit questioning what that is, but we're going to dig it because we started, so we might as well finish. Let's try a pinpointer before I dig myself to the other side of the planet. Right, that's out. The depth wise, we're still more than a pinpointer, just over a pinpointer deep. How boy. Can see it, guys. It's there. It's round, isn't it? Or is it? That, my friends, is a nice one to end the day on. A nice little Roman. Happy days. Right, guys, that's it. Enjoy your new machine. Just you got to get used to it, guys. You know, we know some people have got a few problems with them. Get them settings right, get used to the settings, get used to how quick it recovers. If you start using the modes, you've got to appreciate you're going to start, you know, discriminating or notching bits out. So you just got to find the setting that works for you. We'll do a few more videos. Hopefully it'll be of some assistance to people. Any questions, drop a comment below. Just on the way back to the car, guys, and pinpointer's on, as you can hear it. I am literally just pinpointing around here to make sure it's not within pinpoint distance. I was just doing another experiment, really, just to see, like, when the target was in the ground, you know, how much clearance you got above the ground if you got stubble. So I'm on top of the stubble. Now I'm hitting the stubble, but I'm on top of the stubble there. Just coming in at the 70s. Sounds okay. Didn't try it the other way, to be fair. Jumping about a little bit that way, so it could be some junk. But I wanted to make sure it wasn't something that was near the surface. And it ain't. So that's why I was running over it with the pinpointer first, just to make sure it weren't something that was just going to be just under the surface. It's definitely in there, guys. So if you look at the height of the stubble, I don't know, what's that, 4 inches, 5 inches maybe. So the coil was 5 inches above the stubble, and the target is another, that was a pointless exercise, wasn't it? The coil is, yeah, the stubble is 4 inches above the ground, yeah, and the coil is above that, because that's where we were detecting it. So we've got 4 or 6 inches above the ground, and the target is, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches in the ground. So when you're on top of the stubble, obviously we don't know what it is yet. It could be something, not a big old bit of iron or something. And it is a, well, don't know what that is really. Bit of lead, that's what it is. It's heavy. But is it something or is it nothing? I'm gonna go with just a big old chunk of lead at the moment. Folded up lead. Rolled up or folded up. Anyway, there's just a prime example. I mean, admittedly, that's a big old target, but that was that down. So, you know, 6 inches thereabouts, 7 inches, yeah, plus the height of the stubble. So that's a good overall Now it's a good foot in it, and that was still pulling that out. Admittedly, it is a big target, but if that's a big old chunk of silver or gold, you'd be well happy, wouldn't you? Back again. Right, so we are about 10 inches above the ground. 64, 65. Sounds nice. It's still in there, guys. On the side there. Still in the side there. Oh, I can see it. That ain't so nice. Shiny. Modern. Something off a bit of farm machinery, I reckon, innit? There we go.